In this video, I'm going to show you how you can test authentication for multiple panels. Now, I'm mostly just making this video because the next video I want to make is on registration testing, and I didn't really think it was appropriate for a user to be able to register to an admin panel. That doesn't really make sense to me. So just a little bit of setup I've done. I have added an isAdmin boolean to the users table. I've quickly changed the CanAccess panel function to return isAdmin. Now, I'd probably recommend using like a Spotsy roles and permissions package or something like that, but for the purposes of this tutorial, an isAdmin boolean will just work fine. I've updated the database seeder to set isAdmin to true for the test user that's created for me, and then I have created a customer panel, and the only thing I've done to it is I've added the login functionality to it. So when you have multiple panels, Filament still just uses this CanAccess panel function on the user. There isn't like two separate functions for the different panels. So obviously the panel is passed in, and then you can check, you can get the ID of the panel, which is set here. So for this one it would be customer, and then for the admin one it would be admin. So here I'm checking, is the panel, you're getting the ID, if it equals to admin, then return this. And then if it's any other panel really, then it's going to just check that the email is verified. Actually, we should be checking both here, just to make sure that the admin has a verified email as well. So now that we've updated this CanAccess panel function on the user, we need to update these tests that we created in the previous tutorial, because now they have, well, this one's failing, this bottom one, and this login test. There will be one failing, I think, just one. Yes. So just to save a bit of time, I have just brought out the stash changes that I made. So here we are testing, we're adding isAdmin, so this should pass now. On this one, it does not log in with invalid credentials. We're setting isAdmin to true because we're not testing the isAdmin in this test. We're testing that it won't let you in with wrong credentials. So this now passed. Yep, so that one has passed, and then we move on to the next one. It does not log in user with an unverified email again. Again, we're not testing isAdmin here, so I'll set it to true, and this test passes. And then it does not log in, and this is the new one I've added. So it does not log in a user with isAdmin set to false. So it has a verified email address, and isAdmin is set to false. It's got the correct password, and this should fail and give us the result we want. Yep. So now we're actually going to test the customer panel authentication. So I've literally just copied the admin folder with all the auth tests over to a new customer folder. So this is the exact same test. The only thing I've added is this. This is how you make it work. This is how you test multiple panels. So you need to set the current panel, and you need to get the customer panel. Now you don't need to do this with the admin panel. That is because there is this default on it. So basically, if there isn't a panel, then it will just use the admin panel. So if we run these tests, they're all all bar one is passing, because now this is the customer panel. So anybody can access it as long as they've got a verified email address. So this test doesn't really need to be here anymore. And if we just refactor these as well, so you don't need that anymore. You don't need that anymore. And again, don't need that. And the tests should all still pass. So this is the auth test for the customer panel, and again I have set the current panel to the customer panel, and I've done this in the before each, just basically so it runs on every single test. Then I have just changed the URL to the customer one, because obviously now we're at the customer panel, and change it to the customer login, and all these tests should pass. Just quickly, I forgot to mention, I've also added this test to the auth test, but for the admin panel, I've just basically checked that that a user with isAdmin set to false cannot access the panel. Now the last thing I'm going to do is just going to run all my tests. Now I would usually create like a GitHub workflow, so then all the tests would run on a PR into the main branch. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to run all the tests, and you can see that they're all passing, which is great news. That's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. If you liked it, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. As always, the Git repository is in the description for this for this episode. And I'll see you in the next episode. The next one will be on user registration and email verification testing.